Thank you very much for the opportunity in speaking to you this morning. You know, I've been knowing the Lord for many years, and all my years there was two things that was constantly bothering me all the way. The one thing is to come to grip with what is the gospel all about. My whole life I was looking for answers and get things to a place, where I can understand things and get to a place where things starts to work in life. It's one thing to believe in the Lord, as an insurance policy, and then eventually, we will sometime get there. But 20 years after I've accepted the Lord, I came to the knowledge of what is the gospel really all about. The most important question that we need to answer for ourselves. The question that is maybe bothering me the most still today, in the sense of people are still battling to get to know what is the gospel really all about. Maybe the starting point why we are so battling to grasp what is church all about. And after that, I was still in my whole life looking for the answer, what is church actually all about? And I actually came to a point in my life where I said to myself, maybe this thing is going to take many years to restore, because we're in a restoration process already from 70 after Christ, where everything fall apart and whatever, we still in this process. It will take another 100 years, and I won't see it in my life. And yet in the same moment when I say it, I say to myself, but how is it possible that something that we call church is so strong, is such a solution to the world, and we need to wait another 100 years for it? I mean, we need it now. We need to work it at this moment. But yet we need to wait and wait because somehow man is not capable to comprehend what is this all about. But maybe this is so simple that we are so looking for deep answers, that we're just missing it, what is actually just in front of us. So after many years, and I believe this is what it's all about, is that I've said to the Lord, I will even go and sit on the sidewalk I will go and live amongst the members to see what's going on. What do they experience? What is their heart? What is the problems on ground level? Because for many years being a church leader myself and being for many years planting churches and whatever, you maybe lose perspective of what is really going on the ground. And it was going back to ground level and looking where the thing must really work that you start to see what is really the problem. And that is what we're going to talk about today. And many people has contributed to this in my life. I've been involved in many, many things in my life. You cannot maybe name me an organization and I was there. You cannot maybe name me a book and a course and whatever and I was there. I was very privileged, and yet I think 99% people, 90%, 95% are not so privileged, and yet we're still missing the answer. What is the answer in all of this that we need? And this is what we're going to look this morning, and maybe today we're just going to define it, but the definition is not the solution. The solution is to go and live it. But we need to define it and to get clarity for ourselves. What are we going to live? Because the answer is not so difficult. And when we clarify it for ourselves, we can come to a point where we experience that whatever church or congregation or whatever we're going to talk about is actually something that is something very beautiful. If your association with this is not beautiful this morning, it's not something of I want to just stand up and jump up this morning and live it and do it and whatever, there's something wrong. Because it was designed as the most beautiful thing in the world, as the most powerful thing in the world. And if our association with it is not good, the problem I think is not with God himself, it's maybe with us.